Well, another exciting season of dance and movement exploration is taking place here at the Rachel Browne Theatre in the Exchange District with Winnipeg's contemporary dancers. The company recently announced their 61st season for 2025 and 2026. Artistic Director Jolene Bailie joins us to break it all down. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
So, maybe if we were to look at the entire season, all of the shows that are involved, what's sort of the overarching theme that you're thinking about when you're putting together something like this, and what's been on the minds of the people who've been planning as they look at what to share with Winnipeg audiences?
Well, there's a lot in this season. I'm super excited about this season. It's really current and really relevant, and that is something I always feel is important with contemporary dance. Another thing that me personally, I am very proud of is that all 3 subscription series shows will also feature local dancers performing. So it's really nice to have both the national, international component, but also remember, we are Winnipeg's contemporary dancers and keep the Winnipeg in it for all of our shows. So that's really exciting.
Absolutely it is. When you're thinking about those shows that go into this season, how much do you factor in the talent that is around and who might be able to portray a certain role or execute a certain movement exploration that makes these shows possible?
Well, it often comes up quite organically. For example, our first subscription series show is called Croquis by guest artist Ralph Escamillion. And Ralph connected with us during COVID. And when we were hoping to bring Ralph here as a guest artist in residence, but ended up having to pivot to online, like so many things. And so 2 of the dancers dancing in his project danced in the online project. So, you know, it was really important to offer that continuum because that was something that we weren't able to do during COVID. And then the other element was that, you know, Ralph's work has a cultural aspect and it explores his Filipino heritage. And so the other 2 dancers in the project are Filipino.
There's such a rich and vibrant Filipino community here in Winnipeg that I'm sure very keen to see their own culture, their own movements reflected on the stage here at the Rachel Browne Theatre. What goes into this project by Ralph Escamillion that help to convey that culture as you've seen this project develop?
Well, you know, there are a few things. Like in the end, like the creators we bring in, like they're really given a carte blanche. Like they can do what they want to do and they do their work, and we give them the space and time to trust their new creation and to also support their development on their creative journey. But there are a couple things I really love about this work. First is that it's performed in these costumes made entirely out of paper.
Wow.
So we have some publicity photos we probably gave you, and it's just amazing to see this paper folding and the dancers moving in it. It's very otherworldly. And then, you know what, I also like that the piece has a little bit of transference. Like Croquis first developed as a solo that Ralph has performed all over the place, and now he's coming here to expand it into a full-length work with local dancers. So there's something about like that evolution that feels really healthy and also supportive to both the dancers and the choreographer.
So that's the first show lined up for the 61st season of Winnipeg's Contemporary Dancers. What else is going to be making an appearance in the new year when it comes to your second show, and how maybe does it dovetail or build on a dialogue of what this show, what Croquis has done here in 2025?
Well, I think something that connects the 2 shows is a little bit about deciphering and analyzing one's identity. So the second show is called May After Effect by local sensation Freya Olofsson. Freya Olofsson is an amazing artist who combines media, painting, drawing, dance, text, all of these things to make a real bold and informative work. She is drawing her research from all kinds of extended reality, not just virtual reality, but also like how it affects people, the impact of all of this hybridization. not just technology, the whole world. She's also using, elements of video gaming and pornography, like really, and how this is affecting people of today. And then it's delivered in this super cool way that's like almost like a lecture demo. And then, she brings in a floor that's green, like a green screen. So then she can create this live feed video using the floor as a green screen. It is so cool and so relevant, and I think also speaks to like how much society has evolved, of just like how you can't really get through life without interacting with these things.
Sure. When we think about the fine arts here in the city of Winnipeg, when we think about those major sorts of genres, we're thinking about dance, we think about symphony or the opera or what have you, they're all trying to answer that same question about how does our art form respond to the world around us? How does, maybe on even a broader scale for this season, how do the shows that make up this season for Winnipeg's contemporary dancers respond to the elements in the world around us? And what do you think that dance can say about these very real issues?
Well, the thing about contemporary dance is that it's very, very personal. Very personal. Often artists are putting things on stage that are so personal they might not even tell their family members and people they're living with. But that being said, as human beings, it is 100% guaranteed that anything we are feeling or experiencing, other people are also feeling and experiencing in their own way. So that power of like a real current reflection about today, about now, the dancers of today, people creating today, presenting today. And I think those elements like just bring such a like not just even authenticity, but like a real honesty. Like they just are delivering the facts. This like it's like almost like a time capsule, but in real life.
Okay, I love this image. It's not quite a mirror that you're holding up to society, but it's almost, although maybe it's like a funhouse mirror where you get all these different bodily movements and shapes that you can make with the human figure that then can reflect maybe some other truth that maybe we couldn't see otherwise.
Exactly.
Okay.
And often, like I said this in the season launch on Friday night about a work I shared of mine, and it's like often these elements in our life and things that are in our minds that are really, really hard to talk about can be really great things to dance about.
Okay, wow. Okay, that's profound. We should put that on a bumper sticker. That's fantastic. Okay, so we've got 2 out of the 3 shows now for this season. What is the final offering in that main stage subscription offering?
The third show is a new
Third
creation
show.
by me. So I'm super excited about this.
That's
I'm
right.
super excited to have my work in the subscription series again. We have a group of local dancers. We're still creating, we still don't have our complete cast, so there's still opportunities there. And we're dealing with the concept of accumulation and just what the accumulated effect of an experience, of people, of the same things that face us day to day. How does that feel? How do we change when we see them the same again another day? Like I've always felt like in a weird way that every day, the people in their everyday are really truly, that's who they are. Like we can't judge people who they are on their very best day and on their very worst day. We have to take those and throw them away. So this dailiness, and me as a human, I feel that a lot of times I can have radically different days, but I might cycle through the same emotions, even though the days and the contexts are very different. And so, so tuning into that, like how we are in our daily lives, and then the accumulation of just like everything we deal with and do, and how over time that changes us.
It strikes me as you're describing this show, Accumulations, that there's a lot of weight that then gets attached as we go through our days, that there are just these things, no matter what our day looks like, that they just hang on us and make it that much harder to, move. Yeah. What is the tension or that exploration like in your show as you create it?
Well, there's an idea I've been working with for a while, and each time I get to work with it, I get to go further and find new things about it that are meaningful. And I mean, there's this element of that, like, there's this weight, But once it's on you and in you, you can't just like release it and let go. Like it's not Disney's Frozen, right?
Right, gotcha.
It's like you almost have to disattach yourself and detangle the cords and detangle yourself from the situation in order to really like have that weight lifted. And I think that is something like probably most people in the world are dealing with, and we can't, right? We almost like, it's almost just this like cheesy motivational thought, like just let it go. But the reality is that we're complex thinking, feeling, living human beings, and it's just not that simple when something might get under your skin.
Sure.
It's just like, oh yeah, let it go. Like, and then it's like, what's wrong with me? I can't.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Well, again, reflecting a reality that so many people who will sit in this audience will no doubt respond to. So this is the subscription series that the Winnipeg Contemporary Dancers are presenting this year. There's also, we've touched on this a couple of times now, this idea that we have local artists that are making up the vast majority of this season, but also emerging artists. What can you tell us about the ongoing initiatives to support the next generation of contemporary dancers here in Winnipeg?
Well, we have an amazing emerging artist initiative. It's just amazing. This year we have a group of 7 emerging artists, so people just embarking on the beginning of their career in dance, and they come for 5 weeks to WCD studio here, and we work on a mixed rep show of just, you know, maybe different works. Everybody gets highlighted in a different way, and then at the end of that 5-week process, we present a public show. So it's really a wonderful opportunity for dancers to sort of navigate how they are going to work as a dancer once they're out of a school environment where everything is really like their schedule is programmed. They just, you know, you show up, you see where it is, all of those things. So how can, you know, we bridge that gap from student to professional where, you know, maybe they have to pick up pieces at a quicker pace. Like we don't have like the whole season to learn a dance and present it at the end of the year show, right? They're going to learn a dance in 3 weeks and they're going to learn more than one. Right?
Wow.
So there's that density of time. At the same time, like we do, like, you know, it does most of the time feel a good, healthy challenge.
Sure.
That's our goal here. And yeah, this is our 7th year of this iteration of the Emerging Artists Initiative. But prior to that, like WCD for decades has created these Emerging Artists Initiatives, and you know, season to season, they might vary a little bit, but it really is what makes us who we are. And this is how, like, we have dancers moving forward too,
Right.
is that we've worked with them as they've bridged into the profession.
It's really interesting to be able to trace that from emerging artists trying to get their foot in the career to opportunities so that they can actually have that career once they have, well, emerged as artists. So much to look forward to in this season. What else can people expect from Winnipeg's contemporary dancers going forward as far as being able to support the company and maybe other events that are on the horizon?
Okay. We have a few other exciting local partnerships as well. I mean, these partnerships we do outside of our subscription series are really important for getting out in the community and also like providing opportunities for local artists. So we will partner with Dance Collection Dance. They're coming here from Toronto to do a Hall of Fame event, and we will perform there. We'll also partner with Nafro Dance Productions for their Moving Inspirations Dance Festival. We're going to host a million workshops here and some rehearsals here, and also perform in their festival. We've started in June, we started this new project with New Dance Horizons in Regina, where we do this thing called the Bridge Project. So we went to Regina in June, and then they'll come here in March. We're excited about that. And we are starting the first phase of a 2-season project, which we just got funding for from the Winnipeg Foundation to begin. And that's working on a Winnipeg cast of an amazing piece called The Whole Bloomin' Thing by Margie Gillis. So this is huge for us because it is sure to become a work that will go down in WCD's history as a really exciting thing in our legacy. It has a cast of 8 dancers. And you know, last season, for those of you that came, you know we had unprecedented success and interest in people learning from, experiencing, viewing the work of Margie Gillis. So this is really a response to the response we had from our community. So that call and response is like, you know, it does shape our what we might plan to do. And same thing, like, you know, not just for the dancers dancing with us, it's also our patrons, like, oh my gosh, this is what you want.
And the conversation continues across pieces between audience and performer. So many incredible dialogues that are being pursued as part of this new season. We'll have more information at classic107.com and the Classic 107 app. Jolene Bailie, this has been such a delight to get to hear about all the things coming up on the horizon for Winnipeg's contemporary dancers. We're so excited to be a part.
Thank you.